In a time when our lives fit inside a small glowing screen, one thing stands out. Some people never post their pictures. No selfies, no birthday photos, no updates for years. It's almost as if they live in the shadows of the digital world. But behind that quiet behavior lies a fascinating psychology. Because in an age that rewards visibility, choosing to stay unseen says something powerful about who they are. Let's explore what science and psychology reveal about the people who don't post their photos online. For many, not posting is not about being shy, it's about protecting boundaries. Psychologists call this a privacy orientation, the desire to control what others know or see about you. In 2018, researchers at the University of Pennsylvania found that reducing social media use improved emotional well-being and lowered anxiety. It turns out, the less we share, the better we often feel. People with a high privacy orientation don't need attention to feel alive. They find peace in privacy and confidence in silence. They don't reject connection, they simply curate it. Where others seek validation from hearts and likes, these individuals rely on self-validation. Their happiness is not public property, it's personal. Psychology calls it self-concept clarity, a clear and stable sense of who you are. Studies published in the Journal of Personality show that people with stronger self-concept clarity use social media more intentionally. They know what defines them, and it's not how others react. They're less likely to compare or compete because they already have internal direction. They don't post to prove, they post when it matters. Their self-awareness becomes a quiet confidence, one that doesn't need a filter or a caption. In simple words, the less they post, the more they usually know themselves. Confidence comes in two forms, loud and quiet. Loud confidence wants to be seen. Quiet confidence doesn't need to be. People who rarely post often show signs of secure self-esteem, the kind that stays stable even when no one's watching. A study from the University of Houston found that individuals with secure self-esteem feel less pressure to perform online. They're not against sharing, they just don't need it to feel valued. Their worth isn't borrowed from comments or engagement. It's built from experience, purpose, and self-respect. They've learned that confidence isn't about showing off. It's about showing up for yourself. People who are less active online often think more deeply offline. They have what psychologists call an internal locus of evaluation, meaning they judge their worth by personal standards, not social approval. They take time before speaking. They reflect before reacting. And when they finally post, it usually has meaning. In a digital world overflowing with noise, their silence becomes a statement. They're not hiding, they're filtering. They'd rather live moments than broadcast them. Here's the truth. Social media is a beautiful illusion. Everyone posts their highlight reel, not their reality. Back in 1954, psychologist Leon Festinger introduced the social comparison theory, which explains how people constantly measure their worth by comparing themselves to others. That's why endless scrolling can create insecurity. You're comparing your behind the scenes to someone else's best moments. Those who avoid posting understand this trap. By limiting exposure, they protect their self-image from distortion. They're not out of the loop. They're simply choosing not to drown in it. They pick peace over performance. Long before social media, identity wasn't built on visibility. In many ancient societies, reputation came from actions, not appearances. Your word, not your image, defined you. In a strange way, people who don't post today are carrying that tradition forward. They remind us that meaning doesn't require an audience, that some lives are lived beautifully, even without digital evidence. So what does it really mean when someone never posts their photos? It might mean they're not hiding, they're healing. Not disconnected, just discerning. Not invisible, simply at peace. They're the quiet ones who've realized that real confidence doesn't demand attention. That being unseen online doesn't make you unseen in life. In a world obsessed with visibility, they've mastered something rare: the art of private confidence. And maybe in the end, those who post the least are the ones who've already found what the rest of us are still searching for. If you love understanding why people think and behave the way they do, subscribe and stay curious. Because the next mystery might not be about what people show online, but about what they choose to keep hidden.